In this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and what I do, in case you were wondering. I'm Travis Sivart. I'm the host of Simpleton Series. But what's that mean? Who am I? What do I do? I'm a guy that's been around for a couple decades, and I've played role-playing games and read sci-fi and fantasy since my early teens. I've always been a writer. As a child, I carry a notepad with me. I loved essay questions because they were just simplistic and easy. I would write entries into the whatever contests, just like the day, that morning at school, I'd write it. So I've always been a writer. Now I have TravisISivart.com. It's my name, middle initial I.com. And you can go there and see all my books. My work is in almost 40 books now, probably more by the time most of you watch this video. I do public speaking at conventions, sci-fi, fantasy, comic book, steampunk, all kinds of conventions. I've gone all across the world doing this. Now under that, Travis I. Sivart, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitch, Snapchat, Google+, and probably a few more that I have forgotten. No, I don't use them all regular. I use like 3 of them on a regular basis. It's more than enough. Now, I also have Talk of the Tavern, which is at talkofthetavern.com. That was a live internet radio show. God, I love doing that. And this is kind of replacing that till I can get back to that, which I'm working on through Patreon, which I'll get to that in a minute. But that was wit, sarcasm, all with a pub-like atmosphere. I grabbed a really diverse group of people, broadcast from interesting places, talked about the silly to the serious and everything in between. And we were done in the spirit of the great offenders like Red Fox, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Buddy Hackett, if you ever seen his stand-up. But anyhow, also that became a publishing house, or a publishing group, I should say. A little different from a publishing house. And that's on Twitter and Facebook and whatever else. It also has a branch off called Bacchanal Press that does the more adult-oriented type stuff. I invented a card game with a couple of other very wonderful people called Awkward Compliments, and you can find that at awkwardcompliments.com, as well as on Twitter and Facebook. Simpleton Series, which is a how-to and social DIY, so it's just how to live life, how to interact with people, how to meet people, how to do things you might want to do, and a lot more, because I'm one of those poor, cursed souls that's always going to be a jack of all trades and a Renaissance man. I'm never going to focus on one thing. It's just not in me. I have so many interests, and I do so many of them well, and I want to share that with so many people. Thus, Simpleton Series is born. Simpleton Series came from the one book I wrote with Wendy Callahan called Steampunk for Simpletons. There are 3 more in the works, 2 others in the planning stages. So this series will continue, and it'll all be based on social DIY. And if you're wondering what social DIY is, it's the art of meeting people, because I think it's a lost art. What else do we have here? Simpleton Series being an umbrella for everything else. I have VIP Researchers, which is a ghost hunters group based here in Virginia, though we might expand out from that. That's on Twitter and Facebook. I have a Fiverr.com page, which was doing ads on the radio show. Now it's sitting idle. I have it turned off for the moment, but I don't know. It's going to come back as something. The Patreon page, patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Simpleton Series, where you can contribute and help me bring you more. Or just be nice and throw a few bucks my way. Buy me a cup of coffee. Buy me a cigar. Buy me a whiskey. Here's to you. I also have pen names, going back to the writing thing. Ada Dickey is my adult humor name. joke books, inappropriate humor, stuff that swears a lot. A lot of penis jokes, fart jokes, that sort of thing. And I don't want that mixed in with my regular stuff. I want that compartmentalized so people know that name by that, and my actual name for the science fiction and fantasy and the nonfiction. I also have Joe Wilson, which is actually my birth name. Interesting story there. And by the way, Ada Dickey has a very close personal connection to my life also. That's a real name. But Joe Wilson is for my children's books. So go check out My Bunny is a Zombie and all the others. And last but not least, I do have 2 other pen names which I don't bother to advertise because I keep them separate, because one is romance and the other one is cozy fireside mysteries. So that's a little bit about me and what I do here for all of you that were curious. Here's to curiosity.